Alright, so I'm back. Got a new haircut, new car, and a whole bunch more of spiritual and mental health content to come. So I'll just give you a quick update on like my life and where I've been and stuff. A few months ago, I went on a road trip down to the Blue Mountains in Kangaroo Valley, just with my girlfriend and her dog in her Jeep, and we just went forward driving and just did heaps of free camping along the way and stuff, and that was really cool. The main reason I stopped making videos was because I started writing a book, and I was just focusing my energy like into that. I stopped playing music, I stopped doing my art and stuff for the main chunk of the writing period and stuff. So, but that's been released. That's available to purchase on Amazon, which I'm so stoked about. I've got about, I think, 2 weeks before I get the first copy, which is going to be really exciting. So I'll put a link in the description for that to purchase, and then I started doing art again, which is really good. I've been trying to find a balance between my music and art for a long time, and I feel like now it's sort of starting to round out, and I can sort of juggle both at once, or have them a bit closer together, not just do art for months and then music for months. So yeah, it's kind of a quick update of where I've been at. So this video I want to talk about pleasure, and from my observations, it is one of the sneakiest forms of suffering, just because it's completely disguised in good things. So pleasure is something that you do, an activity you partake in, a food you eat, something you look at, a sound or a song you hear that stimulates a response in your brain that releases dopamine. So anything that essentially makes you feel good, but it's, let's just say, like eating a lolly. Everyone knows that's bad for us, but it's that for most people it's good. It's that sweet taste, that sweetness that people are after when they're eating lollies and stuff like that. Playing video games is a massive form of pleasure. There's no substance behind it. It's just surface level playing a video game, which is very fun, but that is another massive form of pleasure that people are completely unaware of. Watching just entertainment, general entertainment for the sake of passing time because you've got nothing to do. I guess documentaries have a bit more depth to them and stuff, and like educational content, you can find joy and pleasure in watching those, but they're generally grounded in a lot more substance, so you're learning from the content instead of just like sitting there viewing it, or sitting there watching it and judging the people you're watching and making yourself feel good, because that's what people do when they watch like reality TV shows and like stuff like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Everyone watches that stuff and goes, I wouldn't, oh my god, I wouldn't do that. But that's more just like stroking your own ego by judging other people. So yeah, pleasure is it's good, right? Like, pleasurable food tastes good. Like, video games are fun to play. You have heaps of fun playing them. You play it because you like it. What else? Going on your phone, going on like Facebook and Instagram, scrolling through, liking things, just like hitting that like button, or love reacting, or whatever stuff you do on there, commenting, checking your notifications. That's all pleasure. opening an app or opening your phone and seeing a notification on your lock screen and going, oh yeah, I got a notification. That's complete pleasure. You see that, and then automatically it just triggers the dopamine release in your brain, and then that's what makes you feel good. But it's that good feeling that we're after, and at the end of the day, pleasure isn't going to actually satisfy you. Pleasure is not fulfilling. It's not long term. It's long term for most people because they're completely unaware of it, and they're just so incredibly addicted to it without realizing. But the it's not going to be good for you long term whatsoever. It's very short term, and the long term effects are very noticeable once you start trying to peel yourself out of the addiction to pleasure, which has been probably, for me, it took like quite a while and quite a lot of just like time and repetition, for just like saying no to eating biscuits or something like that, or for me my main pleasure source was like biscuits and stuff like that. Like I would eat heaps throughout the day and then get headaches, but I would have no idea why, because I wouldn't associate sugar with biscuits before I started actually looking at what was in them. But yeah, pleasure is it's not good. It's very bad for you long term. And I'll talk about some of the long term effects. Some of the long term effects are, the first one is addiction. So you just get hooked on it because it feels so good. At face value, like immediately with pleasurable things, it's so sweet. It's so it just feels so good doing whatever pleasurable activity is. It could be even like masturbation. That's just pure pleasure. That's just been completely normalized, and you don't actually have to masturbate every day or at all whatsoever. Same with like watching pornography and following people that you find really attractive on Instagram just so that you can get a quick perv in without looking at people in real life and the risk of getting in trouble. All that sort of shit. It's just pleasure. You're just doing it for dopamine, and you're doing it because you're addicted to it and you're completely unaware of it. So, addiction is one negative long-term effect. Another one is you just get so hooked and you just keep wanting more because you're so desensitized to this dopamine response that you just need more and more. That's why you scroll for so long, hoping that you'll find a meme that will make you laugh more than the last one, because the last one's not good enough now because you just keep hunting and searching. But what you're really searching for at the end of the day is true happiness and true satisfaction, which you're never going to find from a phone, from a video game, from a lolly, from sex, from masturbation, from social media, from your work. You're never gonna find from just like a general fucking career that you're only doing to make money. Money is another one. People find a lot of pleasure in looking at what number they have and just looking at money and having money and buying things. People are so incredibly addicted to buying things, which is just essentially just buying thin air, just made to look like something else and function like something else that at the end of the day doesn't actually serve you anything but suffering and addiction. But most people will disagree with that because they can't see it. What the opposite of pleasure, in my eyes, like the thing that people are actually truly searching for and seeking and longing for, is true happiness and satisfaction. And for me, I find that through helping through people. I find that through changing my life. I find that through making myself uncomfortable and then coming out the other side stronger than I was before, or overcoming fear, expressing my authentic self, my authentic desires, my art, my music, my writing, making videos like this, like And then just discovering what's going on, looking at myself objectively, seeing the negativity in my lifestyle, in my worldview, and in the way that I communicate with people, the way that I interpret information in conversations, at all aspects of my life. You can just find, what I've come to realize is true happiness and satisfaction doesn't come from outside of you. It's yours. And it only makes sense to come from you if it's yours. So if you're searching for happiness by wanting to go hang out with your mates or hang out with people, which is awesome if you're going to do that, because then you're not isolating yourself and allowing your comfort zones to rule your life. That's great that you're doing that, but your happiness is not going to come from them. In any given situation, when you're happy, it's because you're allowing yourself to be happy. And that happiness is coming up from within you. Whatever was blocking it previously, you've removed for whatever reason that you're completely unaware of, until you become aware of it, and then you can see how it works. So yeah, that's what I wrote the book about. The book is called Happiness from Within, 100 Sutras to help you realize your happiness. So it's essentially 100 of, I guess, these lessons like this, condensed down into like one per page, and they're just very small. Sutras are kind of like little aphorisms or like lessons condensed down into a few sentences, or maybe a small paragraph or a couple of paragraphs that can be completely unpacked into like entire lessons and stuff. So it's only 110 pages long, very small. It's like 4 by 6 inches, so it'll probably fit in your back pocket, or if you got a handbag, or just like a small bag, or in the car. I made it like that so it's portable, so you can easily just, I don't know, if you're just in a sticky situation or you're not feeling good, you can just like whip it out, and then hopefully there's something in there that can cater, that can at least relate somewhat to your situation. But yeah, happiness doesn't come from outside of you. Happiness, it's you. It's just like the way that we choose to react without even knowing it. Like in every single situation, we have that's not even faced with, we have the beautiful opportunity of choice of reaction. You can choose how you react to any situation in your entire life. And it just takes a bit of practice, but once you do it and you realize the power in that, when you can like no longer get angry at being stuck behind someone driving 20 k's under the speed limit. Like, what's the point of getting angry? How's that productive? When you can just go, oh yeah, fair enough, they're just driving slow for whatever reason. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like that, you can choose to be happy in any given situation. You just have to choose it. You just have to choose to be happy. And another thing about happiness is you're never going to be happy in the future. The future isn't going to bring you happiness. This new car that you're going to get, this new place that you're going to move into, this new event that you're going to, this new thing, they're not going to change your life. Nothing outside of you can change your life. Nothing can make you truly satisfied. Nothing can make you happy, like truly happy. Nothing can, it's all of that stuff, all of that fundamental core stuff that people actually are searching for at the end of the day, but searching in the wrong places. That all comes from you. And the sooner you put down the video games, your phone, the shitty food, the just general meaningless entertainment content, all that sort of stuff, as soon as you put that down and replace it for stuff you can learn on, stuff that actually fills your heart up with love and with joy, the sooner you're going to actually start being happy. The sooner you're going to stop going, oh, why am I happy? I'm so unhappy. I'm so sick of being unhappy. All that sort of stuff. One of the main reasons why people are so unhappy is because they're just drowning themselves in pleasure. Which is like, there's no one to blame. There's no blame anywhere. Because pleasure is a positive experience at the surface level, but underneath it's just suffering. It just shows like you can judge the level of suffering in someone's lives by the amount of pleasure they drown themselves um, in their daily lives. So let's just say someone that works 9 to 5, they come home from work, they maybe crack open a drink or smoke some pot or have just some sort of relaxing drug to take the edge off their general anxiety and stress levels because they're working a job only for the money. Then they're gonna just sit down and watch TV or just drown themselves in some sort of mindless content, which is maybe even it's just like watching stand-up comedy and stuff, which is like, it's good to laugh. Don't get me wrong, I spend a lot of my time laughing, but when it's just in that particular situation, coming home from work, stressed out about the job, find relief in just watching mindless content, that person's just going to continue drowning themselves in that because that's the only positive experience in their lives. Whereas if they had, say, someone with a job that they find fulfilling, maybe helping someone, a disability support worker, a youth worker, or a teacher of some kind that actually takes pride in their work and finds true satisfaction in helping people and seeing people progress, or doing whatever it is, a professional musician who just loves being on stage and performing and finds true meaning and happiness and satisfaction in that. Those people aren't going to be going home after that and just watching movies endlessly and watching shows and then like just binge watching, but like 24/7 when you've got free time, because those people have purpose. And that's a whole other topic. Living without purpose leads to addiction. It leads to people just absolutely drowning themselves in pleasure because they've got no purpose. They've got no drive to do anything. They don't even know that they can help themselves or change their lives or change other people's lives or live a happy life without all this fake bullshit. So yeah, really just analyze your life. Just really have a deep look at it and look at all the things that you do that you enjoy, that bring you pleasure, and start letting them go one by one. And trust me, like, your life will improve. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, but if you actually genuinely want to be happy and you're not just trying to jump on a bandwagon or trying to be spiritual just because your friends are or something, if you genuinely have that desire and you want to change your life for the better, a really good place to start is with pleasure. Stop doing meaningless, mindless stuff just because you've got no purpose or just because it's something to do. Go out there and find stuff to do. Create your own path that's not pleasure based, and because all you're doing is just on the hunt. You're just a dopamine junkie. You're just on the hunt for the next dopamine hit, and you've got so many avenues that you can do it through. So once you get sick of one, once you get sick of scrolling on your phone, you put it down, then you go on YouTube, and then you start watching mindless stuff on YouTube, and then you're sick of that, then you go lay in your bed, put on a movie that's more mindless stuff, and then you go talk to your friends and then complain about work because you're working a job that you're only at because of the money, which is just constantly bringing you negative experiences, so you keep complaining to make yourself feel good. And that's another thing, complaining. People do that to make them feel good because they feel like they haven't got any true positive. They don't realize they haven't got any true positivity in their life, or they're not allowing that to come up within themselves, and they're not actually generating themselves. Pleasure is just false positivity disguised under suffering. And once you realize the mechanism behind pleasure, why people just fiend it so bad, and why they long for pleasure, and why they just keep choosing pleasure instead of work, or instead of like actually putting in effort to change for the better, it's because you just get lazy, you get addicted, you get hooked, you get comfortable. That comfort zone just strangles you, And then you're just stuck in the same vicious cycle of nothing but pleasure, wanting more, unhappiness, self-loathing, self-hatred. But there's never any attempt at change. And the only thing that can save you from that vicious loop, that vicious cycle, is change. And I think it's intrinsic motivation. Motivation that comes from within, that you generate yourself. You motivate yourself. But yeah, really just analyze your life as deeply as you can with the analyze it in a way that is just looking out for pleasure, and analyze it with the intention for coming back with results on where you find pleasure in your life and what pleasurable things you do in your life, and then just start letting them go one by one. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. The main points are: people chase pleasure because they're actually chasing true happiness and satisfaction. True happiness and satisfaction are not found in mindless activities like watching movies, just watching TV shows, playing video games, eating sweet food, eating shitty food, eating fast food, going on your phone and stuff. That's not actually making you happy. It's not making you truly happy. And then the last point is, your lifestyle is a lot worse for you than you think it is. It's not perfect in the way that perfection is portrayed in society. It's actually quite bad for you, your current lifestyle. And unless you're someone that's actively changing their lives and can see consistent growth and progress and stuff like that, well then that's a whole completely different story. But if you're one of these, if you relate to anything that I've been saying and you can see that your lifestyle is just pleasure based, then your lifestyle is actually quite bad for you. But you don't have to stop there and just get scared and worried and sad and depressed about that. You can change it, but you just have to change it. No one's going to come along and just save you one day from your suffering. It's your suffering. You have to take responsibility for it and change it if you genuinely want to be happy and stuff. So, yeah, I'm pretty serious about pleasure because this one's like really close to home. It's something I'm constantly working on. But I just get lazy as well, and my diet will constantly be going through phases of cooking sometimes here and there, and then just cooking not at all, and then buying fast food, and then just buying biscuits for snacks and stuff like that. But it's generally changing, but that's because I'm changing it, and I'm choosing to change it, because I don't want to keep I just don't want to stay stale, drowning myself in pleasure, because I could see how bad that was for me. And then now that I've slowly started peeling myself out of that lifestyle, I'm so much more happy. I'm clear in the head now. Like I'm not chasing the next best thing. It's like you realize how content you actually are without all that rubbish. It's just rubbish. It just feels good, but it doesn't actually. There's no long-term benefits. Yeah, should probably end it here before I keep rambling and just start morphing this into some other spiritual topic. But yeah, just pay attention to the activities you take part in your life and the things you do, because the chances are, if this is all new for you, the chances are your lifestyle is actually quite bad for you, but you've had no one to help you realize that. because this information is not mainstream. It's stigmatized, and more people need to hear about it because it's changing lives very, very quickly, and it's dealing with issues. It allows you to see that you're creating all of your issues in your life. And if they're your issues, then who's going to solve them properly but you? So yeah. Thanks for watching. Not going to promise any schedule for videos or anything like that. I'm just going to make them whenever I feel like it. But yeah, when my book comes, I'll make a separate video on that, and I'll make sure to put the link for the book in the description of this video so you can get a copy if you want. I think it's Australian dollars, it's $16 plus a few more dollars shipping, so it's around about $20 with shipping, I think. And it would probably take you about 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks to come, because I think it has to come from the US. But yeah, thanks for watching. I love you all, and most importantly, love yourself.